or is this full-time MMA now?
I love full-time MMA right now.
Back to the daily grind, and shout out to the full-time patrons. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back bagel biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full-time
MMA.
Daniel Cormier says he'll defend his UFC light heavyweight title before the end of the year. Now when and where, we are not sure, but he says Corey Anderson, Anthony Smith, and Ilir Latifi. You tell me when and where, and at some point this year, we'll get it done. Now, it's not going to be all three of them, but one of those guys will be the lucky winner. Daniel Cormier says he'll throw a stake in the middle of the octagon. Whichever one comes out, that's who I'll defend my title against. With that being said, Daniel Cormier's got about 6 months until Brock Lesnar can get through the USADA testing pool, and who knows what's going to happen with that, right? We'll see if that even happens. I'm still waiting on Brock Lesnar's first drug test back, you know what I'm saying? So, but with that being said, DC's looking at a potential huge Brock Lesnar fight to defend his heavyweight title at the beginning of the year. But in the meantime, in between time, he's the healthy champion. He's looking at maybe defending his light heavyweight belt instead of relinquishing it, and instead of letting it go. That way he doesn't have to hold up the division, and he can still be the champ going into his Brock Lesnar fight. Now, there's a few guys that have stepped up as potential light heavyweight title challengers. Corey Anderson just got a big win over Glover Teixeira at UFC Hamburg. Anthony Smith got a big win over Shogun at UFC Hamburg. And Ilir Latifi's coming off of an impressive win over OSP not too long ago. So all three of these guys could fight Daniel Cormier. Really, I think it's going to come up to whichever one of these guys get it from the UFC. It's going to be the UFC's call. That's what Daniel Cormier's been telling these guys. Call the UFC and tell me when and where, and I'll be there. I'm not turning none of you down. Just let me know when's the best time. So that's good to see from Daniel Cormier. He's not just waiting out for money fights. He realizes John Jones might not be back in time before Brock Lesnar to get a fight in. So he's like, well, I got time for one more fight. He did say he wanted to fight 2 more times if he beats Stipe Miocic before he retired. And if Brock Lesnar comes back in January, he's going to need another fight before then. So with that being said, it looks like it's going to be a light heavyweight title defense. We just have to wait on the UFC to decide when and where. Now, all three of these guys, I'm sure, want this opportunity. At Daniel Cormier, who is now the champ, it's going to be the opportunity of a lifetime for any of them. But I'm not exactly sure when would be the best time. And also, Daniel Cormier said as long as it doesn't fuck up his Brock Lesnar fight. So it has to be sooner rather than later, right? This could have been an option we could have saw for UFC 228. The UFC just put together this Darren Till fight, right? That a lot of people felt like he didn't necessarily deserve after missing weight. After the Wonder Boy fight, Kobe Covington, said he'd be ready by the end of the year. This could have been a potential fight we had there, right? DC versus Ilir Latifi. I mean, if we're just looking for a title fight. And also, since it has to be sooner rather than later, because you can't schedule this fight in October. Maybe you can in October, right? That's a time we might be able to see it. But I'm just thinking, you can't schedule it like in December if he's going to be fighting Brock Lesnar in January. So Daniel Cormier is going to have to kind of be healthy by November in order to get in a training camp for Brock Lesnar. So that's why I say this has to be sooner rather than later if he's going to defend this light heavyweight belt. So maybe UFC 229, in Las Vegas in October. That might be a good spot for DC, the beginning of October. But yeah, man, that might be the only time I really see open for DC to defend that belt. And who's going to get it? Let me know in the comments. Who do you want to see DC fight? Do you think Anthony Smith deserves it with that big knockout over Rashad Evans and Shogun? What about Corey Anderson with his win over Glover Teixeira? Or maybe Ilir Latifi, who was willing to go up to heavyweight to fight Daniel Cormier after that win over OSP. I'm interested in any of them. I mean, and it's going to be good to see Daniel Cormier defending that belt and not holding up the division while we wait on the Brock Lesnar to try and get through USADA. So with that being said, man, it is what it is. I'm about to head to work. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments. And before we go, shout out to all the full-time MMA white belts that have hit the subscribe button. Make sure you also hit the bell right next to it so you get notified every time we upload a new video. This is the hardest working MMA channel on YouTube. We provide daily updates. We do predictions, betting advice, songs, fantasy fights. We create all different types of MMA related content on a daily basis. We've also interviewed Aljamain Sterling, Sean O'Malley, Bruce Lutch-Medio, and Felony Charles Bennett, all in just 1 year as an MMA channel. We're still small, but we're definitely one of the fastest growing on YouTube. So with that being said, if you want to see even more videos like this, make sure you check out the Full-Time MMA Dojo over on patreon.com. There's more free videos over here, and you can also learn more about where this channel came from and see the goals of this channel as we continue to grow. So with that being said, whether you're a long-time subscriber or just a new person watching this video, I appreciate it. And we recently just got approved as an Onnit affiliate, so we got what you need. Whether you're trying to think clearer, work out harder, or sleep better, check the links in the description for a 100% free trial of Alpha Brain, Shroom Tech Sport, or a New Mood. I'm telling you, we got what you need. Links are in the description. See you on the next video.
Da 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 da! It's the motherfucking DOWG!